G'day. Now, anybody who's watched any of my previous videos, you're going to be well aware that I'm well and truly out of step with accepted wisdom. This is no different, talking about ethics. Now, I think you can trust people to be ethical, with one proviso. Ethics is a natural thing, but it's connected to how well you appreciate things around you. Our natural inclination is to protect things we appreciate. Now, that's what gives rise to the most robust form of ethics. That's why when I'm explaining meditation, I emphasize the role of the emotions. When you allow yourself to feel your emotions without any kind of censoring, that's the most vivid experience of life. So our primary contact with our experience is how things make us feel. When that experience is vivid, you have the greatest contact to reality, and therefore the greatest opportunity to appreciate things. And the more you appreciate, the more you want to protect. Hence, the more your natural ethical standards develop. Now, we have a bit of a problem with ethics in our world. We've tried all kinds of things. We make laws. Well, people break laws, and when laws don't suit, people change laws. We've had all kinds of religious invocations, all the way from stone tablets down to the bully pulpit. The religion and law is an attempt to marshal people into an ethical behaviour, and clearly it doesn't work. Something more robust is needed, and that robust ethics happens automatically depending on your level of appreciation of things. Now, many years ago, I was probably a teenager when I heard this. I heard of a tribe, it's probably a mythical story, but I heard of a tribe in South America somewhere that the rule was that no person had the right to tell another person how to live their life. I thought that was wonderful, and I still do. When you look at all the conflict that we have in this world, it boils down 99% of the time. Somebody is trying to impose their will on somebody else, and they either succeed or that person fights back. Now, there can be small scuffles to world wars. Attempting to impose your will is a form of violence. Now, ethics plays a very big role in meditation. In one of the videos, I've talked about emotional betrayal. Plenty of people have suffered that. Well, in order to develop your own peace of mind, it's important that you become aware of how you treat other people, that you don't betray their trust. So it's not beneficial for your own well-being or for the person that you bully. I don't want to drag politics into this channel, but there is a very good definition of politics, one that's I think sums it up. It's the power relationship which exists between people. Now, we don't have a completely egalitarian world. Some people have more power or wealth than others, and that becomes the power relationship. Those people who use their power or their wealth to impose their will on others, they're abusing the trust of those individuals when they do that, and they're destructive to the social well-being. That's just a fact. Now, you go through history, um, human beings behave badly, and up until the last 70 years, planet Earth could tolerate it. Now we've got technological destructive power. We've got to change. We've got to change. We continue with our habits, and if it's not this year, if it's not 10 years from now, it'll be some time that we'll go too far. Somebody will try to impose their will, start a fight they can't finish, and it'll be the finish of everything if our culture doesn't change. Nice saying from Mahatma Gandhi: be the change that you want to see. Now, meditation is a serious business. It doesn't have to be hard work, but it's serious business. Now, I'm advocating that the most useful way to proceed is to understand how your emotions work, what their proper role is, how emotions are the primary generator of thought. When there's internal emotional conflict, that's the basis for mental unease. When there's emotional conflict, internal conflict, and the person's unable to deal with it, the natural thing, we try to cope. We try to make it easy on ourselves, suppress the pain, try and compensate ourselves perhaps in some way. Okay, well, what happens is that when you suppress your emotional state, painful feelings, you can't then expect to have a vivid experience in everything else, because everything's interconnected. One thing reminds you of another. When people shut down their emotions for self-protection, they also cut themselves off from a vivid emotional experience of life. And that interferes with your capacity to appreciate. If you're completely unemotional and you just look at things on a cost-benefit analysis, well, you're liable to do anything based on the benefit you might see, regardless of any kind of emotional disturbance you might create in others. Now, there are lots of different meditation techniques out there, lots of different traditions. They're not particularly appropriate to the needs of the day. One of the reasons I started this channel is I see very clearly that I live in a world where people have become emotionally disconnected from their experience, from themselves. I see it as an urgent need. Because what happens when people lose appreciation, their ethics become unstable or maybe even non-existent for some. Well, you see the outcome we've now arrived at. The one thing which is most distressing is all trust has disappeared. Now, civilization requires trust. Once you lose trust, you're on the verge of losing civilization. It's at risk. Without trust, nothing is possible. With trust, everything can be at least discussed. We've got a lot of senseless wars being threatened as I speak. When I was a young teenager, I grew up under the threat of the nuclear bomb. And then those threats dissipated. We never got rid of the weapons, though. And there's several possibilities today that people are becoming quite aware of. Now, maybe something will happen, maybe not. But unless we solve some basic problems in the way we perceive the world, the way we act in the world, and who we choose to be, unless we solve those problems, if we continue to act the same way that we've always acted down through history, tribalism, conquering, theft, violence, imposing our will, unless we grow out of that, well, I think it's just a matter of time before something inevitably catastrophic happens that will be our own doing. So, ethics is a very important part of meditation. It's a way of ensuring that you avoid regret, aiming for the highest ethical standards within yourself. There's nothing you can do about someone else's ethical standards. All you can do is work on your own. And perhaps bring more trust into the world because you act in a way which is trustworthy. But there's no rule book for that. There's no formula. My understanding of human psychology is it depends entirely on how much we appreciate life itself. And we have a lot of people in the world who are emotionally betrayed, emotionally damaged, nursing injuries, and don't know how to get out of that situation. So I think I've made my point. See you later.